Okay, hold on. I think I know what this is. I have a feeling. Oh my goodness! Dude, it's finally here! Is this angle okay? Okay, I literally just got this delivered to my doorstep. This is the DJI Osmo 360. Yes, that is what they ended up calling their very first 360 degrees camera. Now, we all heard the rumors about this camera and it's now finally here. And I'm so honored to have an early access, an early look at this camera. And I want to share with you guys what's inside the box. I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing later on. And I'm also going to show you how this stacks up to Insta360's best 360 camera, the Insta360 X5. I'm gonna do a little bit of a comparison between the two, and I'm also gonna show you the footages I can get from this camera. Now, I just want to say DJI did send me this camera and I do get to keep this camera. However, they did not sponsor this review. I am working with DJI on other projects over on Instagram, but over here on YouTube, this video is not sponsored by DJI and they do not get to see this video before it goes live. So yeah, without further ado, let's head to the unboxing and see what's inside. Okay, right here we have the box of the Osmo 360 and this is what it looks like. Over here we have a little spec sheet of everything, all the details. We have this over here. It's a selfie stick with the Osmo word. This is the carrying pouch. So we have the USB-C cable, a microfiber cloth. Oh, it's the quick release attachment. This should be a rubber cover for the lens. This is very interesting. This is actually a battery case. So you can just simply charge your batteries over here via USB-C. This is the warranty information as well as a DJI sticker. Lastly, we have the camera itself, the Osmo 360. Wow. This is what it looks like. There's a DJI branding over here and the power button is where you charge the device. This is the 1/4" thread along with the magnetic quick release. This is the beautiful lens housing the 1-inch sensor inside. I have no idea how to open this. There we go. So this is where you keep the battery. So we're just gonna load up the first battery inside. And it also has a bit of a waterproof gasket to seal up the edges so that, you know, it's a bit more water resistant. And let's power this on. Oh, that was fast. I do like the aesthetics of it though. It does look really good. And let's try just covering the lens. Wow. Okay, can just screw on the selfie stick, the invisible selfie stick over here. There we go. Okay, now firstly I want to talk about the designs of the camera over here. Let's get the obvious out of the way. It is a lot stubbier of a design compared to the Insta360. While the Insta360 one feels more like a remote control, this one definitely feels a lot more compact and stubby. Now in terms of build quality, I must say the DJI one does feel a lot more plasticky. It's not bad per se, it doesn't feel like a cheap product, but I do notice it feeling a lot more like a Gen 1 product. Because the X5 does feel a lot more premium and you can tell that they have been through a lot more iterations with this product. The Insta360 feels like it's a lot more out of its infancy stage compared to the DJI. The DJI one feels like a newborn baby. What I mean is, first of all, these lenses over here, these are replaceable with the replacement lens kit over here. This is a replacement lens for the X5, right? See, so the thing is that when you actually scratch your lens or break your lens, and it's not in and if, it's a when you break these lenses, you can actually get a replacement lens kit for your X5. But this one you can't. You know, it's the lens you have is the lens that you got. You know, if you spoil it, you do have to bring it to DJI to get some sort of a repair. It's a little bit sad because I already do have a few scratches on my lenses. You can't really tell on the camera, but if I really shine on the light, I can see a few scratches on my DJI Osmo already. Okay, now powering these up, we have the elephant in the room, the different aspect ratios. Now, this one is definitely a taller vertical screen that looks like a mobile phone, and the DJI one looks a lot more like a landscape, almost like the Osmo Pocket 3 one. So it is a little bit smaller compared to this. This one has a lot more real estate, but I do have to admit I prefer the Insta360 one in this case. It just feels like you have a lot more real estate to pan and look around compared to this one. it feels a bit more restrictive and you don't have a lot of real estate on this screen. Now, a feature that I really like on the X5 is the ability to lock like this, put it in sleep mode. Unfortunately, DJI does not have that feature, so if you press the lock button, it actually just brings you to this mode where you can switch between panoramic photo, video. You can customize whatever modes you want to switch to, but it's just a little bit sad that you cannot sleep this device. Now, in general, I just do feel like the Insta360's ecosystem is a lot more mature because first of all, we have that lens feature that I told you about, and you have also these threads over here, if you can see, to sort of screw on these lens guards. You can screw on these lens guards to protect your lenses. There is no such thread on the DJI one, it's just bare bones the lens itself. We have things like this Insta360 foldable selfie stick where you're able to screw onto your X5, and when you want to keep it, you can actually fold it up like this and have like a compact package. But for the DJI one, you can't. You just gotta use the quick release and the selfie stick over here and sort of just click it onto the Osmo 360. And the thing is that the quick release mount, just saying, I really don't like it. You see, half the times it just doesn't click on properly. Yeah, so this is one thing that I really do not like about the DJI's Osmo quick release. Yeah, it's just not the best. But that is sort of where all the negatives end, because the DJI Osmo 360 is in fact a really good camera. Now, first of all, if you're very used to the Osmo Pocket, which is a viral camera, everybody loves this camera, you would be very happy to know that the operating system is very similar. Look at this. They are almost the exact screen size. So it has very similar functions like this sort of menu system on the right. So let's just check it out a little bit. The bottom over here is your resolution. You can change your resolution and frame rate. You can shoot up to 50 frames per second in 8K, but the thing is that DJI did tell me that there isn't much of a difference. So I'm not sure what they mean by that. They did tell me that the best image quality is still to shoot in 8K 30 frames per second. So let's just stick to 30 frames per second for this one. And over here we have all of the other videos you have. And if you realize, it actually shows in landscape. Top, you do have sort of these quick toggles, and we also have mic, so you can actually connect wireless microphones. I'm using the Mic 2 right now, so I can actually connect the Mic 2 to the DJI Osmo 360 very easily. And over here you can see these are all the settings that you can change. A rotation lock, which I'll leave it off for now. This is gesture control, so you can do like a high five sign and it'll sort of start recording and stop recording. You can also talk to your camera and have voice control, so you can ask it to start recording, stop recording. Insta360 has that feature as well. Then we have grid lines, basically just all the different settings. This is actually wireless earbud monitoring, so you can actually use wireless earbuds to monitor your audio, so that's pretty interesting. And the settings over here is definitely my favorite panel because I love to change this mode. Very important to me, D-Lock M 10-bit video. And now over here you have panoramic photo, video, super night mode, selfie mode, vortex mode, and hyperlapse. So the super night mode is actually their sort of low light mode, so that's pretty helpful. You can change it to single lens as well, and you have all of these features on single lens. So now we're just using this lens, or you can switch over to this lens, which is the one at the back. So I'm sure you want to know how the footage looks like from this camera. I shot everything in 8K 30 frames per second in 10-bit D-Lock M. Without further ado, let's cue the B-rolls. Hello. So, you look beautiful today. We just came from the Jurassic World movie.
Wow.
Oh, she show.
This is a T-Rex.
Alright, currently right now I have both of them side by side. Right here on the left you're looking at the DJI Osmo 360, and on the right you're looking at the Insta360 X5. Oh my god, there are so many 360s to say for this video. Both of them are shot in 8K 30 frames per second in the normal standard picture mode. There is no lock footage turned on, no D-Lock M, no I-Lock, nothing. This is just the standard picture profile. There's a little bit of a sound test for you as well. But yeah, basically this is what it looks like. I'm going to do a D-Lock M to I-Lock comparison later on, but currently right now this is sort of what it looks like. What do you think? They are both shooting in 8K 30 frames per second, and yeah, I just want to see how both of them handles footages and handles the highlights as well. What do you think? Alright, this is the DJI Osmo 360 shooting in 6K, and the reason why 6K, I'll explain in a moment. It's because the Insta360 can actually do 5.7K, and you can shoot 5.7K in I-Lock, which is Insta360's sort of pseudo lock profile. It is still recording in 8-bit over on the Insta360, and right now I'm currently recording in 10-bit, so we're gonna see a side-by-side difference between 6K on the Osmo 360 as well as 5.7K on the Insta360. Now it won't be a one-to-one comparison because this is in 10-bit and the Insta360 is in 8-bit, but it is the closest I can get in terms of a lock shooting profile, so we're gonna try that and see how it compares. Alright, currently right now I'm shooting in 5.7K on I-Lock, so this is what it looks like, and after conversion it looks like this. And it looks pretty good. There is more tonal range and a lot more detail in the highlights and shadows, and I do think that it looks pretty good as a flat picture profile. But it still doesn't change the fact that it is 8-bit and not 10-bit like over on the Osmo 360. Where I think the DJI simply shines is the 8K 30 frames per second in D-Lock M 10-bit. So currently right now I'm shooting in 10-bit. This is in D-Lock M, and I'm going to turn on the conversion LUT as well. And as you can see, it actually looks a lot better than just the native color profile. So this is one step up above the Insta360 that I think the DJI has, and it does look really good. The skin tones look so much cleaner, and overall it just has a lot of a better transition roll-off between the highlights and the shadows. I love it a lot. It looks good. Now before I continue, I want to talk about today's sponsor, Motion Array. Now I'm sure you already know what Motion Array is. They have a ton of motion graphics, LUTs, footages, voiceover, sound effects, music, just a ton of assets for creators to use, and they often collaborate with artists. And today I'm going to talk about this artist right here, Tina Tooley, and this is the landing page, and you can see these are some of her works collaborated with Motion Array, and they're just so beautiful. Tina Tooley is actually a creative director. I'm going to show you some of her Instagram feed, and as you can see, she actually mixes a lot of real life physical objects and sort of blend that into the digital world, and that's what makes her work so unique. Like for example, this one, as you can see, she actually 3D printed the entire sculpture, and it's just so amazing what Tina Tooley is doing with her works, blending analog objects with the digital world, and she has a lot of these kinetic typography style works. And so obviously I'm very excited because of this template right over here, the Tina Tooley's Type in Motion. I'm just gonna play a little bit of the video for you to see. Every single letter is sculpted in this 3D look, and it catches your eye and attention so well. So all you have to do is download this. And in fact, I actually used this design in the intro just now when I was unboxing the camera, if you caught it. And that looks amazing, right? Having the DJI Osmo word in that 3D bubble-like looking texture. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I got that, and it's super simple. It'll take like 30 seconds. Head to the folder over here after you've downloaded it and head into After Effects and just simply open up this template. Alright, and as you can see right over here, it says bold words, and it already looks so good. You know, just the level of detail in this is actually quite insane. Look at the shadows, and oh, I love this so much. Okay, all you have to do is head over to these panels over here. This is text goes here. It says bold words, which is the text just now. All you have to do is just type in whatever you want. So in this case, I'm just gonna write DJI Osmo, and maybe the next row we can type in 360. And all we have to do is head over. I'm using the HD one, and look at that! That is insane! That is so beautiful! So if you're always wondering how people get these creative assets, it's all from Motion Array. I'm gonna spill the secrets for you right now. Alright, if you'd like to try this out for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Thank you Motion Array for sponsoring this video once again, and let's get straight back to the 360 video. Okay, now next up, I want to talk about editing. Okay, so now this is the Insta360 app connected to the X5. And over here, let's just see what it looks like. I shot this in iLog, so it is their log shooting profile. And as you can see, it looks really good. Now, what I do like is that you can de-warp your image instantly. Okay, so once you de-warp your image, you can see it just becomes more of a linear image. And that is exactly what I want. I love this linear image. I don't like this fisheye look that 360 cameras have. It's just not very pleasant. So I do like the option to de-warp your image. Now, when you press record, what you can do is you can actually rotate around, and using the gyro data, it's able to sort of allow you to record the movements that you want to record with. So I'm just gonna start recording. And if I want to pan up to the sky, I could just do this. I mean, you can't see it on camera right now, but yeah, it's sort of what I can do. And if you see, it goes upwards like this. I'm able to record keyframes like that. Now, next up, I want to talk about keyframing. So let's say you can just go over here and let's say create a keyframe, go forward and scroll and reposition what you need and create another keyframe. And maybe over here, you want to start panning up to the sky and creating another keyframe. So that is just a very simple and seamless experience. And if you play it back, look at the keyframes. It hits this, right? And it goes all the way up and it meets the last keyframe over here. However, I have a few rants about the DJI one, so let's switch over to that right now. Right now we're connecting our DJI Osmo 360 to the iPhone, and it is still also quite a seamless experience, so thank God for that. It's pretty fast. I can't lock the DJI one while editing, so it's just gonna stay over here like this. Now, as you can see, a lot of these are just landscape videos that I have. So it still stays consistently with that landscape look to it. Alright, so as you can see, we have the exact same video as just now. It is of this, and look at how wide it is, right? We have that fisheye look to it that I do not like. We don't have an option to de-warp this image unless we create a keyframe, and now we can have these options over here, and you can click no distortion. So no distortion, and this is what it looks like. So it looks pretty good, right? And the frustrating thing is that since you've created a keyframe, you sort of want to animate your own movements, right? So let's go to this one. Let's just move it a little bit, create another keyframe, and have it go up to the sky, okay? Look at how stiff the keyframes look. It's as if there's like a jerk at the very end. The keyframes don't look very pleasant. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but look at how stiff the keyframes look. So I don't really like the keyframes here. There's no option for like an easy ease sort of keyframe. I know the Insta360 one doesn't have that as well, but the thing is that it doesn't look as bad as the DJI one for some reason. If we remove all of the keyframes and we use that whole gyro feature that we wanted to do just now, it's called gyro preview, right? So it's over, let's just scroll over here first. So gyro preview, we can start recording and start recording our clip and do this whole gyro preview thing where we rotate our phones. But there is now no way to de-warp the image. I was so pissed when I saw this. You can't de-warp the image anymore. You can't play with the de-warp function anymore. There's just no menu here for you to do it. You just have to use this fisheye look to it. And look, if I were to zoom it in, I could, but it still has that very warpy look. It didn't actually de-warp the image with those presets that we had in the previous one. It doesn't look the same compared to when we were using the keyframes. So why is it that I could only de-warp with keyframes? Just don't know which to use because both of them are like decent but also not that good. Alright, negatives aside, you can actually use this color correction button over here and just click. There we go, color recovery added, and this looks like a very pleasant image to look at compared to the D-Log M one. Alright, real quick, before I continue this review, I just want to clarify something before we move on. I did mention that it's a 1-inch sensor for the entire review because that's what I thought, but upon closer inspection, I think that is not the case. So over here it says 1-inch 360 imaging, but the thing is, I think it only applies to 360 video because over here it does say, when capturing 360 content, Osmo 360 CMOS sensor features an imaging area equivalent to that of a 1-inch CMOS sensor. So they wouldn't be plastering this over here if they meant fully 1-inch sensor on both sides. Yeah, so basically what I think is going on is that there's sort of either a square sensor that is equivalent to sort of like half an inch, and over here it's another half inch, and that creates an equivalent image of a 1-inch sensor. I thought that both sides are 1-inch sensors, so that is a bummer, but it doesn't change the fact that the quality of the videos that came out is still really good. So continuing on to the next segment, do keep this in mind because I did mention that it's a 1-inch sensor, so this is just to clarify what that means. Alright, next up, the low light performance. I absolutely love the low light performance on this camera. It's really pleasant to look at. It doesn't look artificial and there's not a lot of noise because of the 1-inch sensor that is inside this camera. If I were to nitpick, I would say that the background has a little bit of this vibration, shaky jitteriness, but that isn't exclusive to this camera because a lot of action cameras, because of how compact it is, they all have this issue with stabilization in the dark. It's just harder to process all of that data, especially with a smaller form factor, smaller lens, smaller camera, smaller sensor, and have it perform as well as a full frame mirrorless camera in the dark. So it is not an Osmo exclusive problem, it is a problem with all action cameras. Alright, here are some final thoughts. The Osmo 360 is an awesome camera. It is DJI's first entry into the 360 world, and I think they really did a great job, especially with that 8K 30 frames per second in D-Log-M. 10-bit footage is just a dream come true on a 360 camera. Insta360 has been dominating the 360 market for a while now, so this definitely does feel a lot fresher, a lot newer, and it just breathes new life into this 360 market. The thing about DJI is I think they know what their strengths are. They know that 10-bit video is something that a lot of filmmakers and content creators are craving for. 10-bit video is in their drones, it's in the Osmo Pocket 3, it's in their Osmo action cameras as well. So I don't think one camera technically defeats the other. I do feel like it's a lot more of a conversation of which ecosystem are you involved in? Which ecosystem have you already been diving into? Because for some people, they don't use DJI products, they use a lot of Insta360 products, and their second camera isn't a flagship FX3 Sony camera, right? Their second camera is just their mobile phones. For DJI, it's a lot more for serious filmmakers who are looking to level up their content, who are looking to use it in their professional workflow. I do think that Insta360 is a lot more mature when it comes to creating 360 specific cameras, but if you're talking about just an overall ecosystem, I do think that DJI has a lot of strengths that outweigh the Insta360's ecosystem. Now, so let's sum it up. Which one should you get? Should you get the DJI Osmo 360 or the Insta360 X5? It's very simple. If you don't give a damn about 10-bit video and you don't care about making professional looking videos online, then just get the X5. If you're already in this sort of mind space where you want to create very high quality content, I think a lot of you would agree with me, the 10-bit over 8-bit is already big enough of a feature to warrant buying the DJI one instead of the Insta360 one. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video on the DJI Osmo 360. My name is Declan Drosten Tan. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video of me showing you the new Insta360. It's the DJI. Thank you for watching this video of the DJI Osmo 360. I hope you enjoyed this video. I create a lot of tech and filmmaking related videos. I teach a lot of tutorials as well over on my Instagram page at DDT. So if you haven't followed me over here, you can consider following me. If this video helped you in any way, shape or form, do leave me a like and comment down below what you think of this 360 camera. Would you consider buying it? Let me know in the comments down below and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.